Hello, folks. This is Bob Safale. I want to thank you for attending our briefing tonight. This is designed to talk about what American Stories just attended, and we're going to start releasing deals that we started in MITCOM and now we're completing over the next few weeks. And we had and for the folks that are uninitiated, we have a lot of brand new people here tonight, and we are sending this recording out to thousands of people who are interested in learning more about American Stories, potentially investing now and in the future, getting involved with our direct listing, which we're at the very end completing the process on. Should have news on that next week, by the way. So we're doing this recording, but some of you may not know what I say when I say we had just attended MIPCOM. MIPCOM is the largest event each year held in Cannes, France, for the selling of TV shows, documentaries, anything related to TV, streaming media, satellite TV, any type of TV. And MIPCOM actually turned out to be bigger than we thought. It literally took two members of our team. We had a total of 6 people representing American Stories there. 2 people who are kind of our key executives. It took them several days just to get through the entire event. And just to give you an idea that just the sheer numbers of people, let me just pull up the actual stats. Here we go. As it turned out, there were over 10,800 delegates. I thought it was going to be about 4,000, so I was off by over 50%. There wasn't like several thousand buyers. There were 3,100 buyers. I think that potentially they had the largest attendance there in terms of countries. I think 100, well, it says 108 countries. There were 320 booths. Of course, our show representative had one of those booths. So it was ginormous. And all I can say is when our team got back, we had a stack of business cards for people who wanted to get involved with us that was 2 inches high. So we could sit here, if I stopped and just sat here and described every single thing that we've now gotten agreement on, closure on, or in the middle of doing, or have some steps we had to get done, I could be sitting and talking here for about 5 hours, and I'm sure you don't want me to do that. So what we decided to do is to take kind of chunks. Tonight we're going to talk about one gigantic chunk. I'm very happy to say we had another chunk, and one could argue it's as big as this chunk, although this chunk is giant. And I think we're going to have that event next Tuesday, either Tuesday or Wednesday. So let's talk about this first big chunk. I don't know if you've ever heard of Spotify, but Spotify is a gigantic company that essentially is works with artists who are musicians, music artists, and they put up their content into Spotify, and millions and millions and millions of people consume it. Okay, well, FilmHub is kind of similar, only it's really kind of for bigger uh, uh, content providers than say individual music artists. With the people that would desperately want to be involved with FilmHub are producers of movies, of documentaries, of TV shows, of reality shows. You know what I'm saying? So FilmHub is a very, 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 very hot company. and their managers and management at Film Hub, they were at Con in a big way. They found us. They fell in love with us. And just to give you an idea of Film Hub, you kind of really have to talk about them in two buckets. One of the buckets involves the content providers, big companies like us. And then the other bucket are their partners, okay? Their content partners. And this just gives you an idea of just some of their content, their partners here, okay? And they're just kind of gone, you're going to see them kind of flipping by here. There they are. And this thing just goes down, and you're going to see them kind of rotating up. As we talk, they're going to go up, and you're going to see like over 100 content partners are there. This little thing, this little scroll bar. In fact, I'm going to show you literally inside their platform and show you a pile of their partners here. It goes from A down, and it just goes on and on and on. This is one of my favorite sections of their platform. It's how often the partners pay companies like us to license our content and broadcast it on their platforms. And here's all these companies, and it's a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. And if you can see the terms of payment. Some companies pay monthly, some are quarterly, some are, you have monthly, you have quarterly. That's the primary way. I like the monthlies a lot. And literally all of these providers, and there's just, they're all over the world. They're in dozens and dozens. And you see it just goes on and on this list. Okay. It's quite healthy. Okay. So it's a ton of them. Like Amazon and Apple. This thing is going a little slow. Let me see if I can I'm going to reset it, see if it's going up a little faster. They probably have so many people hitting their site. There we go. It's kind of moving now. You'll see it scrolling up, more and more and more of these people. So you have these partners are there, channel partners, better way to describe them, and then the content providers, okay? So they initially approached us because they fell in love with our content. Now, there's several reasons why. Number one, and I'm going to kind of take you to like this. This is kind of an analogy, like when Walmart or Target or big chain stores take on a new product for their shelves, they much rather work with a provider of many different products. They don't like necessarily to work with a company that produces like one orphan product, okay? They like working with providers who have many different what are called SKUs. They like that more. It's the same way with Film Hub, and they like working with companies not just that have like one show or one movie. They really are excited about the fact that we have a lot of shows. And if you can see here, just in our first year alone, we produced and or distributed over 50 different episodes of a half dozen, actually more than a half dozen different shows. So we have a lot of content, and we're producing more and more and more. So these are a bunch of our shows. Okay, you can see them there. I'll put on view all because there's a lot of different shows we have. And this is what they like. So number one, they like the fact that we had all these shows. It's a lot of shows. Okay. Boom. There you go. Bunch of shows. Wow. That's number one. Number two, they really, really, really like the quality of the shows. They're like, oh my God, this is fantastic quality. And just to amplify that, and once again, I do realize there's a lot of people here at this briefing. There are some people who are new. So they were able to not only see from the booth, they were able to see posters and cards and websites regarding Surviving Man and Country Ball. And I'll show you that in a few moments. They love that, but they're able to see not only sizzle reels, but they're also able to see full episodes. So no wonder they're excited. So I'm going to show you just two of the sizzle reels that they fell in love with. I mean, just like fell in love with. And here we go. Here's the first one.
At the age of 44, Brady steps up.
See, for me, ever since I was like little, everybody's like, he's got one hand, he can't do this, he can't do that.
4 years from now, you're gonna wish
Right.
you had signed this kid.
Adversity always hits sometime in life. You just got to know how to overcome it.
What are you working for?
Being the best.
Now, as you can imagine, they just absolutely fell in love with the episode involving the one-handed player that's making news all over the country. And by the way, season 2, episode 1 with that player is going to be premiered, I think, either this week or next week for the first time. So you'll love that. So they loved that. They went nuts over that. And then and by the way, the fact that, and of course, we work with Sports Illustrated on it certainly helped a lot. And they love the quality. Obviously, as you're going to find out in a second, why do they love the quality? Well, here's the other sizzle reel they saw, and they love this one.
All the way down, all the way up. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. Go.
I think a lot more of it is mental than physical. You put your mind to it, the pain kind of goes away.
I want to prove that I have what it takes to be amongst the top competitors in the world.
I'm gonna kick ass.
So needless to say, they're like going, oh my gosh, look at this content. Then they could go with we had tablets there, and they could go to our big platform. They could see all these other shows, and now they're getting more and more excited. And I'm going to tell you why in a second. Why are they so excited? But then they got to see our platforms, and they saw our branding and marketing, our posters, our cards, our you name it. So they got to see quality like this. Okay, they're going, golly. You see, this is the type of quality that promotes the shows. That's fantastic because their channel partners will effectively choose our show, start playing it immediately, and guess what? The licensing fees come roaring in. Now, obviously, Film Hub likes it because they make 20%. We make 80%. But they feel very confident that, wow, this is such this content, this is such great sizzle reels, this is such great promotional material. These channel partners of theirs, and I showed you this list that goes on and on and on, are more likely to go ahead and license with the click of a button. I'll tell you about that in a second. And then all of a sudden, they're all making money. They like that. So you see, this is Surviving Man. You should see the posters at this place. We had fantastic posters. We had thumbnail art. See, this is what sells the big channel partners when they go in to the Film Hub back office, which is where the channel partners go to essentially shop for content. Okay, so that's number one. They love, and here's another. This they, of course, they love the Surviving Man, all this beautiful content. I'm about to show you Country Ball. 1 second, it's a little slow. Okay, 1 sec. And hopefully you can still hear me. Okay, do this real quick. Here we go. I'm sure you can still hear me. I'm turning on Country Ball. This is the other website with all these fantastic pictures that promote Country Ball. They loved all of this, man. They were like, God, this is fantastic. Because they knew that the channel partners had all this great content. So here's how it works. First of all, when we got back, the management of Film Hub immediately had 2 big meetings with us immediately. There were 2 different meetings. One was about our content. They loved the content. And they said, we want it up right away because we want to be able to start promoting and selling it, getting license deals immediately. And they have over, let's say it again, they have 100 channel partners. Just for, you know, once again, here's the nice little thing. It just goes on and on and on with all these partners all over the world. So number one, they said we want to get your content up right away. And what I mean by that is one of the great things about us is all of our shows are in the right format, the right compression. We've done everything right technically, so that it's very easy for us to upload our shows into their platform, upload our artwork, our posters, our thumbnails. And we also are savvy enough that we have our shows and we can provide them the shows with commercial breaks. You understand? So why is this important? Because the channel partners go into this platform and they shop for shows, and they want to be able to see trailers that are hard hitting. Boom, you saw ours. They want to see posters and thumbnails so they can promote the shows on like Netflix and Hulu. When they promote the shows, they have artwork, they have descriptions of the shows, they have, they know who's in it, they know the stars, they have all that. Well, with Film Hub, all of that's up in our own exclusive profile regarding American Story shows, and we have all of our shows there, and we have the content right there. So when like say a Netflix or a Hulu or an Amazon or an Apple or say, oh, I really like this show, I want Roku is in there, they can literally click on the button, pulling our content, our advertising, everything, and all the contracts are already in place. So the minute they start showing the shows, guess what? American Story starts earning money immediately, and it's a lot of money. So that's what's really good. And on top of that, the really big channel partners are always, calling and contacting Film Hub, kind of giving them a shopping list. And for Film Hub, they want to be able to, it's kind of like Uber Eats. When you order food from Uber Eats, you want to make sure when you put your order in at Uber Eats that what comes back to you is good. It's the same thing with these big channel partners. They say, hey, we want a military show. We want all these specifics. And because we're savvy and we know how to upload this stuff and we know how to put up, the right keywords and everything, guess what? And by the way, the Film Hub people love us because they know that we are very tech savvy. So all of a sudden, it makes it easy for Film Hub to include American Story shows on the shopping list that they provide back to, the major providers and even smaller providers, although, most of these guys are big companies. But so there you go. This gives you an idea. And that's why I showed you this, because as soon as Film Hub gets paid, we get paid instantly, immediately. So this is one of the sections, and you're looking right into the back office. That's really kind of cool,
because it lets us know when the payments are made. And as you can see, there's a section where we learn what our earnings are. I'm just literally kind of walking you through. See, it shows us, the period, the type of money, how many people viewed it, how much we're getting paid for. And that's this whole back office thing. I'm kind of showing you it's a blank back office, but it's really, really cool. It shows you how, this whole system, how you add your titles, description, primary genre, then you upload your content, your the actual shows, everything. So it's very, very sophisticated and very hot. Okay, so it's definitely a fantastic program. But the most important thing is, guess what? As soon as they start collecting money, we get paid money immediately. And the licensing deals are all over the world. They're fantastic. They're already pre-done. So we're literally, all we have to do now is upload. And the first thing we're going to upload is the entire season of Country Ball, season 1. And then we upload, the next one we're going to do is Surviving Man, season 1. And then we just keep on adding our seasons after season, from the Real Man Show to Surviving Man All-Stars to Like a Train. I mean, we just keep on adding because we have a lot. No Hug Life. It just goes on and on. And our formatting is perfect for them. So they went nuts. So that was the first meeting we had. And then the second meeting we had with them was really cool, because guess what they did? They invited us to become one of the channel partners. That's right, because we have so much great content. They like us as somebody who would look through their big platform, and we can select shows that match American Stories, and we can license them. And guess what? When we only pay a one-time annual fee to be a channel partner, and then if we start selecting shows, just like, when we're a content partner, if we like a show or shows, all we have to do is click, 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 and then we get the content, and then we can put it on American Stories. And guess what? How much did it cost us to produce all those shows and all the time it took? It cost us nothing to produce those shows. And then right then and there, so we can double, triple, quadruple the amount of content on American Stories. How do you like them apples? Pretty exciting, right? So just to kind of summarize here, make sure you're still hearing me. Okay, hope you are. I'm talking as loud as I possibly can, because I had to switch off of my mic here. Let me make sure you're hearing me clearly. Oh yeah, I'm talking really loud, so you can hear me really good. Okay. I took my headset off because my little mouse wasn't working. So, in summary, within a matter of weeks, we'll have first up Country Ball season 1, the entire thing. And right then and there, we're then exposed to over 100 channel partners for immediate licensing, and then getting paid shortly thereafter on either a monthly basis or a quarterly basis, which is really cool. So that's number 1. So all of a sudden, we start putting up all our content, licensing agreements, all already done in a platform that involves over 100 channel partners. Huge for American Stories. So how do you like that? Pretty doggone cool, right? Okay, so that's just the first card in the gigantic stack. Okay, the gigantic stack. And by the way, why is it also important? Because we also are a channel partner. We can select shows. When we get those shows, there'll be slots that are in each of the shows that allow us to put the advertisers. We already have a ton of advertisers who already love our content. This will allow us to sell even more integrated advertising, package it with showing ads on these other shows that we license. So this can dramatically increase the ad revenue that we're generating already, and we're already doing that big time. So it adds, 100 different channel partner access all over the world, pre-agreed license agreements, immediate access to our content, and that is a giant, giant step for American Stories right before we get our direct listing all done and online, which I'm sure this is the kind of news that can affect, what do you think? Maybe, maybe not, the share price? Well, you be the judge.